We'd like to sincerely thank our Patreon supporters. All right, everyone, it is the big day. We have my mom painting the screen. Product that's supposed to be vinyl coated galvanized, and we've had issues with it rusting right away. So clearly the coating's garbage and it's not galvanized, or it wouldn't rust the second any of it's exposed. But we have Alexander here. He is in this box. His tongue is sliding out the bottom right there. Oh, you see his lower jaw. He is ready to be outside and explore. He is such a social animal. I don't know how well I can film this. Yeah, shutting the door is not a bad idea. Well, don't lock me in. I feel like a contortionist right now. Now, you actually come and get this drill from me? I feel like I have too many things in my hands. Yeah, if you take this out of here, then I just have to grab the board, because I'm going to back out and let him explore on his own. Okay. Oh, shoot. Say that, but I didn't get his water in place. Oh, let me get his water in place and get it filled up. And guarantee you he's out right before I get the water done. 1 sec. While we're waiting for Alexander to come out. What are you doing, Pete? Is this your cage? We're gonna put you at the end of the hallway. Oh, I feel so good. That dirt's probably nice and cool, huh? Wagging your tail. All right. We'll put your name on this one. This one's yours. All right. He's climbing right out, tongue flicking and exploring. Gonna find his way straight over to his water. He loves his water. Don't blame him. Oh, are you going between the water and the wall? Where are you going? I think he's gonna be happy. And he's got that pretty sulfur female. He's got a lot more room in here. He was in a 5x12 at the other house. So now we've got him in a nice 10x12. And why shouldn't a very social monitor like him have a bigger enclosure to explore and walk around? He's a nice healthy weight. I hope, Alejandro, you see that. Kept him nice and, yeah, I think he's gotten a lot longer. He's gotten a lot longer. He's definitely bigger. Maybe he smells that girl next to him. But can't wait to see what happens with these two. He's such a social monitor, and I can't wait to get in here and start interacting with him and some of the other lizards once the construction calms down. Seems like love is in the air. I'm watching all the couples sun themselves and warm up for the morning, and the shy ones have already disappeared, but they have been out by each other. But I mean, look at Blackbeard and Jane. Now, Jane just laid those eggs. She was so emaciated from laying those eggs. It was scary. And I'd say she's still thin for herself, but she is gaining the weight back on her hips. She's starting to look better. She's actually hit a growth spurt. It's odd. She's longer than she was at the other house. But, I mean, Blackbeard is trying to be grumpy on the other side. Let's see if we can go and get close to him. But the door is open for the two to lay together. They just probably woke up in different cages and crawled out to sun, and that's just where they stopped and settled in. They haven't even paid attention to the door open, but it's been open. So he's gonna be grumpy. But it's so funny, like perspectively, you can't tell how big he is. Look at the size of his forearms. Look, he's gonna get past that, being grumpy, and now he's starting to think, wait a second, does he have food? Because if he's got food, I'll stop hissing and come right over to him. Oh, what's that? Big sneeze? Now you're fully putting your tongue out. So yeah, he's really trying to see if I have food for him. I've got some eggs for them later today. I'll let him be. And let's go check on Lily and Forrest. We just ended that other video and brought Alexander over here, and I cannot wait till Alejandro sees him again. He really has hit a big growth spurt. He's considerably larger than he was when he came to me. He really looks good, and he's a character. He is constantly out and crawling all around. He just wants to be by you. So what I am working on today is from, you know, we've got the end wall. We've only got one more floor to pour here, is getting these cages finished and working back. But I'm trying to finish up the roof, all the rest of the roof screen here, get the wood strips on it, and get the permanent shade cloth on this row. And I'll show you what I'm seeing, because I purchased a 4-foot wide material, and you can see the shadow cast covers up. So some of the hallway is putting shade on this, and they're 4 foot. So it seems like if I did 4 foot here, it may actually miss their waters, because the sun is a little south of us. In the winter, it's going to be straight above us. So I think the strip actually needs to go from the middle of this enclosure to put proper shade on their waters. I think it'll be right. And I know it looks like we have sun in the hallway, but at the angle it's at, oh, it's really nice in here. You could hang out here for hours. Look, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Hey, buddy. He just wants to be by us. And like I said in the end of that other video, I cannot wait to be finished with some of these projects so I can really start hanging out with these animals. But it's just work. And even though a lot of what we're doing is to combat the heat, what I'm most nervous about is what's right around the corner, and that's winter. Because I still have to get electrical out to all of these enclosures. I still need to finish winterizing all their hide boxes. I'm building them. I still have to add another 3/4 inch of material to the roof of them, the heat mats, close them in. I'm just really throwing them together right now just to get animals moved. We only have 3 more animals at the Jupiter property that are in exterior enclosures to move. So that's happening fast. And this is where I'm hanging the screen. You can see the burlap is already, because of the wind, falling apart. Staying good on the blackthroat side. I don't know if you guys can see way over there, but I mean, it's laid nice and tight with the fender washers. It looks good. I just want to get this up, stripped, and I think the 4 foot will go from this support to like over here, and it's going to shade their waters. And we'll finish up this little segment with Lily and Forrest. Yeah, this hallway is so freaking nice. I cannot thank whoever said, oh look, she just threw out another late egg. Where did you get that egg? She's laid her eggs. We haven't dug them up yet, but she's in that period of of after laying where she is just so hungry. As soon as I open the door, that's all she can think about is, does he have food? That's too much sniffing my shoes. Stop that. I gotta start putting a different pair of shoes on when I process the chicken. But this is what I was trying to show, is that she's sitting on the box all day, and this lovebird is sitting there just staring at her from the other side of the screen all day, just waiting for her to be ready. And she cannot stand him right now. She is evil eyeing him as he gets closer to the screen. She wants nothing to do with him. So I think that I need to, I mean, I know she laid all bad eggs. I think I need to at some point block her off in her hide. And she does use her hide. I need to block her off in there and dig up those eggs, because I know they're bad. And they're probably gonna start stinking to high heaven, because she lays pretty big clutches. So I need to get that out of there, maybe today. And tomorrow, I have a bass fishing trip with a buddy. I don't know that we're gonna keep any bass to feed to them, but I may blend this fishing video with this video. I know that my fishing videos haven't done well, and I want that to be part of the channel, but they just haven't performed. So I think a lot of you guys are into the reptile stuff, but not into the fishing stuff. I don't blame you. We all have our thing. But fishing is all a big part of my life. So, I don't know, maybe we'll later on down the line, when we get to a point where the construction slows and we start putting out 3 videos a week, we'll have a specified day that is the fishing content, and the other 2 days will be more of the typical Wolfe's World content that has been performing better. The cage stuff, the reptile stuff, and the homestead stuff, if we're gonna call it that. The property stuff. All right, guys, let me get to work before it gets too hot. All right, it's 7 p.m. I've been at it all day. I feel like a zombie right now. Up and down the ladder, walking on those 2x4s. Being a kid in elementary school, walking on the balance beam has paid off, because I haven't fallen yet. But the hallway is done, and then both of these 2 rows, you can see there's still quite a bit to go, but I'm not touching that yet. For now, we're gonna concentrate on getting these done. You guys are going fishing with me tomorrow morning on Lake Okeechobee with my buddy David. David took me on the lake. I mean, it's been a couple years now on a trip, and I've never caught so many 6-7 pound bass in my life. From what I understand, that's not going to be the situation tomorrow. He says it's still hot, the fishing's a little slow, but I'll give you guys the highlights, and then we'll finish up. I still have some more strips. I didn't show you that on the roof, and I'll get that stuff finished up tomorrow. Now I gotta get some food in me and get some rest. All right, so funny story. We went fishing, and even though we got out there pretty early, we had a little run to the fishing spot, and when we got there, he's like, we're actually out here a little late, and it's gonna be about 30 minutes of like really good fishing, and then they're gonna shut off. And that's exactly what happened. We both caught like 8 to 10 bass a piece, and nothing crazy. I don't think anything over 3 pounds, 3.5 pounds, but it was fun. Because it was such a short period of time, I never pulled the GoPro out and started filming. So I guess you people that don't like the fishing will be happy. So I'll do another fishing video soon. But today, it's been a couple days since I worked on anything. And Pinky still hasn't laid. There's still some water in the hallway. She is still gigantic. it's got to be any day now. If she was with a male, I would have known the day that she stopped mating with him and would have known how many days to laying. But since she's doing it on her own, I just don't know. Yesterday afternoon, I pulled out all the used shelving material from the other house. So the stuff we've removed, and I've set them up inside of the enclosures. So I'm gonna go and get the shelving done. And then we had 4 doors. For some reason, you know, I've done the door openings to the same size as the other house. I had 4 doors that were odd sizes, like 2 inches too wide. Maybe they were from the chicken coop and I knew I had a measurement, so I made some door openings slightly different sizes to accommodate doors that were already made. But over here, I made all the doors the same exact size. So I had to take apart 4 doors, shorten them, narrow them, and put them all back together. So I did that to all. I've got the doors down the hallway you see on the back of the golf cart there. So I'm gonna hang these 4 doors. 4? Yeah, 3. I guess this is the 4th one I carried out by hand yesterday, and get this shelving done. But there's exciting things coming. New cages for all the young monitors. The demurrals monitors are coming this week. I'm gonna start setting up that front porch area for all the babies, and set that as a place where I'm gonna actually insulate the walls, where I can winter all the babies in that one place. I think that's gonna be a really good idea. But and we still have 3 more of the monitors to move from the other location, the demo work there. So I just need to knock out these cages. There's not too much to do. If it wasn't so wet, I would probably be setting these forms to do these last 2 slabs. These are the next 3 cages that I need done to move those animals. I think that other one just has its floor done. Yeah, so these 2 need their hide box slabs, and the lay box for those 2 females. And the roof is done. The doors need to be done. I mean, not too much. But I may make finishing those a separate video. Let's get the shelving done and these doors hung. All right, so at the bottom of the doors, to create the space I need, I just put a small and a large paint stir stick, and I just set them there, and then pick up the door and set it in place. Now I also use that 2x4 that I've ripped in half as my door stop. Right now I have it just tacked in place with just the middle screw on the top one, the jam right there, and then at the base, at the threshold, and it gets adjusted into the door. Once the door is there, then I will undo that screw and push it into the door and check how it closes, and I adjust it to the door. So I'm gonna set this door in place and see how it sits. Try and set you guys so you don't fall into the mud. That's weird. Why is there only 1 hinge on this door? There's its other hinge for some reason, taken off of it. That doesn't help me hang it. Let me get that hinge installed first. All right, so I got the holes were already drilled. I just had to screw it back in. I took it off for some reason. So this side I usually keep a little bit tighter because there is no jam on this side, unless I'm housing something small like maybe the Arguses. So I would say about 3/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch is what I have there. Now this could be quite large, 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. I think it's about just in between at, I'd say 5/8 right now, 1/2 to 5/8, and that's perfect. So we have space on the bottom We have about 3/8. I don't know if you guys could see up top. Well, you're not going to see sunlight because there is that stop there. But whatever little bits of movement that this wooden door makes as it settles, it's that 1.75 inch door stop. It's going to cover it. So this door's not going to have any gaps that are going to bind it, that are so tight that it's going to bind, or so loose that an animal can get out because of the size of those stops. So they're easy doors. So I'm gonna set this down for a second and get this guy tacked on, and I'm gonna show you how I set my line and my handle and everything to get in and out. All right, the hinges are screwed in. It's gonna be a little tough to open at first because it's sitting on those paint stir sticks. Now it opens and closes good. Now we just need to set that. It's just a gate latch that I'm using. Just need to set this so it closes on there properly, and then I have to drill through and set my pull string so I can open it up from the inside. All right, so that's set. Door closes and latches fine. You can open it from the outside, but from the inside, that door shuts. You're gonna have a hard time finding your way out. So what I do from the inside is I drill through right there. I use a very long speed paddle bit. I need to replace that one. I think it's hit a couple screws. And then I'm going to show you how I set my my pull string. All right, so I have the line crimped on the outside, and it's running through the door where we just drilled it. Now you'll find this interesting. Everything goes back to fishing. Let's see if I can't hold this like that. All right, here we go. So this line is outrigger line for trolling offshore. It's made to be permanently installed on your boat in the hot sun for years. So it has UV protection in it, which regular clear nylon line would not, and it would break down in the sun. So I'm gonna make this little handle with these twists. Hopefully my hand is not fully blocking it for you. I'll go through it 3 times. Go back into this crimp, which is, these crimps are used for fishing, to make your own nylon leaders for your trolling rigs or your deep drop rigs. Then I'm just going to crimp it on there. Put a little pressure on it so it grabs that line good. I know that I can use another section of that plier that will smash that crimp better, but it's not going to have the same pressure that it would fishing. Now I have a handle inside my enclosure to open it. I can't get locked in. Now obviously an animal can be climbing around and catch his finger on that and open his enclosure, but that's why you always see those orange carabiners on them. And then over here, this is getting switched out today, there's actually padlocks until the hallway is closed. Once the hallway is closed in, then they will all have the orange carabiners, and I can look down the hallway and know that everybody's carabiner, I can look down the row and see where they're at. If they're not, if the cage isn't locked with the carabiner on it, it's up on the handle. So I can look down the hallway and see who has them on their handles, look down the hallway and see who's actually latched and locked. So the last thing I need to do for this enclosure is set the stops, but I probably won't do that today. until I'm finishing this animal's enclosure, I'm gonna go ahead and get those other 3 doors done and hung, and then start on the shelf. All right, I've got the 4 doors hung. That one, this one here. Oh, I still have the paint stir sticks jammed underneath that one. I was like, why is that one so hard to open? And these 2 here, I'll do the handles and latches and all that stuff on them a little bit later. What I want to do now is, I think I have shelving set up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enclosures. So it's quite a bit of shelving, and it doesn't just get the shelving done, it also gets it off the ground, because remember, my shelving is white pine, and if it's sitting together on the ground, it can start rotting. Whereas if it's hung up here, touching pressure treated with the blocks between it, like this shelving here, it seems to last a really long time because it's able to dry. So we're gonna get started on this shelf here. It's pretty nice working with these areas that have already been installed, because it goes pretty quick as opposed to having to cut it all over again. Are we removing this strip? I think we are. This was only here because this cage wasn't finished. This strip covering up his screen, it no longer needs to be there because this cage is now complete. So let me remove that real quick. All right, like everything, that took longer than I thought. Once I removed that strip, I saw that there were only staples every 4 inches, whereas when there's no wood covering it up, I have a staple every 2 inches. So I had to go get the staple gun. And because of the dust and dirt, it decided that it didn't want to fire the staples in. So I had to lubricate it and mess around with it a bit to get it to start working properly. Screws don't have to sink in too far, and I could see exactly where the spacer was before. That makes it easy. I sink that down a little bit lower than. All right, and just like that, I'm gonna work my way through that pile and get all these hung. I don't know if you guys wanna watch the whole thing. I think I'll pause you guys and show you the finished product. All right, so that's a done shelf. Pressure treated blocks in between, white pine where the animal's gonna be spending most of its time. So it's not bad for it. And it should last a decent long time. Now I'll have to do the palm tree log to the face of it. I have to cut it with the 45 and then another angle. I'll show you guys when I do that. But this cage is going to be for one of the young raise up female black dragons. So this cage is not even in a hurry. Let's move on to another one. All right, so this little area is what makes the big shelf unit different than the smalls. I make a much bigger shelf for the large animals. I think it's 5 or 6 slats instead of, I don't know, it's 1 more of these. And I do this one little extra bit here. So where the log comes up in the middle, it gives them more room to turn around so I don't have animals like trying to jump off the shelf. Just makes them more comfortable with the space they have. So I'm gonna get this shelf finished. All right, that's a wrap. That's one of the big shelves for one of the bigger monitors. That log will be up in there, and he'll be able to turn around and climb up on here, and then be able to turn around and get back off. So it's a lot more surface area than one of the shelves for one of the females or smaller monitors. But all 4 doors, see, there was 3 shelves in a row over there and 2 over here. And I know it sounds like I'm rushing to get out of here, because I am. The first rodeo of the season is, well, it started last night, but I'm gonna head out tonight and go to a rodeo, so I need to get cleaned up. And that's a wrap. The next couple videos are gonna be good. A lot of good stuff is coming, so I'm excited. All right, guys, have a good. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. See you soon.